It is the deadliest killer in the entire history of humankind. Deadlier than snakes, lions, or even humans at war. It struck down more soldiers in the American Civil War than bullets ever could, and it brought mighty empires like Rome and Han China to their knees, leaving cities and armies crippled. By the late 19th century, it claimed between 4 and 6 million lives globally each year. And even today, it's responsible for 500,000 deaths annually. For centuries, its true nature was unknown. People blamed bad air, curses, and ill omens, until one man in a dusty laboratory in India uncovered the secret. In 1897, Sir Ronald Ross discovered that this deadliest disease, malaria, is transmitted by mosquitoes. It's now estimated that the diseases carried by these tiny insects might have killed half of all human beings who have ever lived on this planet. Ross's monumental discovery changed medicine forever, though his path to recognition was paved with rejection, ridicule, and relentless struggle. Yet Ross stood firm against this blood-sucking foe and emerged victorious. He won the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1902 for finally unmasking an enemy that had remained hidden for thousands of years. Join us as we uncover this long-forgotten hero of humanity and explore how his research truly served humankind.
Ronald Ross was born in colonial India in 1857. He was the son of a high-ranking general in British Army. At the age of 8, he was sent to England for his formal education. While he developed a passionate interest in the arts, including poetry, music, and mathematics, he ultimately bowed to his father's wishes and enrolled at St. Bartholomew's Hospital Medical College in London in 1874. Despite a lack of initial enthusiasm for medicine, he qualified as a member of the Royal College of Surgeons of England in 1879 and, after further study, entered the Indian Medical Service in 1881, which set the stage for his groundbreaking work on malaria transmission.
When he joined the Indian Medical Service, malaria was everywhere. Soldiers, civilians, children, falling one by one. In India alone, malaria was claiming more than 1 million lives per year. At the time, most doctors believed that bad air, miasma, caused malaria. But some scientists suspected a living carrier. Inspired by Sir Patrick Manson, Ross dared to consider a rare possibility. Could mosquitoes be the carriers of the deadly parasite? It was a radical theory, laughed at by colleagues and dismissed by many, and yet he pressed on. He studied the blood of malaria patients, examining mosquitoes after they had fed on infected individuals. Day after sweltering day in his lab, he captured, fed, and dissected the insects, searching for an invisible enemy. On August 20, 1897, after countless failures, Ross finally saw it. The crescent-shaped malaria parasite nestled inside the stomach wall of a mosquito. In that moment, he confirmed the entire life cycle of the parasite, proving that malaria was transmitted by the mosquito's bite, not by bad air. It was the proof the world needed. The mosquito wasn't just an annoyance, it was a killer. That night became the turning point of modern medicine. Today, it's remembered globally as World Mosquito Day. But science is never smooth. Ross faced fierce resistance. Many doctors mocked his findings. Some accused him of exaggeration. Even as malaria claimed lives daily, recognition was slow to come. Still, Ross expanded his research,
proving mosquitoes transmitted parasites from bird to bird and then in humans. He laid the foundation of tropical medicine and forced the world to face a new enemy.
In 1902, history turned its gaze toward Ronald Ross. That year, he became the first Briton to win the Nobel Prize in Medicine, awarded for proving that mosquitoes were the carriers of malaria. It was a recognition not just of his brilliance, but of his persistence. Years of patient work in sweltering labs, doubted by peers, finally vindicated on the world stage. The Nobel Prize was only the beginning. Ross was knighted by King George V in 1911, becoming Sir Ronald Ross. He accepted professorships, traveling the world to share his discovery. In Liverpool, he became the founding director of the School of Tropical Medicine, a center that trained new doctors to battle diseases in Africa, Asia, and beyond.
Yet, triumph came with tension. Ross often clashed with other scientists, especially Italian researcher Giovanni Battista Grassi, who also studied malaria. Their dispute over priority lasted years, but Ross never doubted the value of his work. What mattered most to him was the fight against malaria, a fight humanity still wages today. Beyond titles and honors, Ross's discovery reshaped colonial medicine. Governments across Asia and Africa began mosquito control programs, saving thousands of lives. Military campaigns in the tropics, once crippled by malaria, suddenly had hope. His work was no longer just science, it was strategy, policy, and survival. Ronald Ross was more than a scientist. He wrote poetry, played music, and even dreamed of novels. To him, science and art were partners in searching for truth. But his journey wasn't free of shadows. Ross sometimes felt overlooked, locked in disputes with rivals, and even endured malaria himself. During World War I, he turned his knowledge into action, leading efforts to protect soldiers from the disease.
Behind the Nobel medal was a man of many talents and many struggles. His story reminds us that even great discoveries are born from very human lives. A century has passed since Ross peered into his microscope, but his discovery still beats at the heart of medicine. Every bed draped with a mosquito net, every drop of preventative medicine, every modern vaccine against malaria, all trace their origins to that night in 1897.
It's not over yet. Each year, malaria still claims hundreds of thousands of lives, mostly children in Africa. But thanks to Ross's breakthrough, humanity knows its enemy. In 2021, the World Health Organization approved the first malaria vaccine for children. That milestone was possible only because Ronald Ross proved once and for all where the parasite lived and how it traveled. His science gave the world a path to prevention. Beyond malaria, Ross's work built the foundation of tropical medicine. He showed that global health was not just about treating patients, but about understanding ecosystems, insects, and environments. His vision helped transform medicine from local practice to global science. Ronald Ross's legacy is not frozen in history books. It's alive in every scientist searching for cures, in every child who survives malaria, and in every community that thrives because one man refused to stop looking through his microscope. One man, one mosquito, one discovery that rewrote history. Ronald Ross gave us knowledge, but the fight against malaria is not over. Do you believe we will one day see a world free of malaria? Tell us in the comments. This is Awards, where the world's greatest minds live forever. Don't just watch history, be inspired by it.
Thanks for being with Awards. Subscribe to know more about international award winners and unsung heroes behind peace, science, and humanity.